Welcome to PCE Upper Intermediate. This is Module B, Day 2. First word of the day, effect. Effect is a result of something. It's a noun, countable noun. How many syllables do you hear with effect? 2. Stresses on the second. Effect. Her speech had an effect on me. Next we have require. Require is something you must do or something you need. It's a verb. How many syllables are in require? 2. Stresses on the second. Require. Require. All students are required to be in class on time. Next we have requirement. Same meaning, but it's a countable noun. How many syllables are in requirement? 3. Stresses on the second. Requirement. These laws are basic safety requirements. Number 3 is activity. Activity is something to do, or it could be a lot of moving around. It's a noun. How many syllables are in activity? There are 4. Stress on the second. Activity. It was a pointless activity. Next we have active. Active is a lot of moving around. It's an adjective. Stress, 2 syllables, stresses on the first. Active. They have a very active lifestyle. Finally, we have inactive, which is not moving around. Adjective. 3 syllables, stress on the second. Inactive. Inactive. It isn't healthy to be inactive for long periods of time. Number 4 is possibility. Possibility just means something that is possible. It's a countable noun. It has 5 syllables, stresses on the third. Possibility. Possibility. While it was a possibility, I didn't think it would happen. So it comes from the word possible, which means something that could happen, which is an adjective. How many syllables are in possible? 3. Stress on the first. Possible. If possible, please read the notes before class. And then finally, we have impossible. Something that cannot happen. It's an adjective. 4 syllables, stress on the second syllable. Impossible. Experts thought it was impossible, but they were wrong. For number 5, we have especially. Especially means particularly or even more. It's an adverb. How many syllables are in especially? 4. Stress on the second. Especially. She is especially cranky in the morning. Number 6, contribute. Contribute means to give something, especially money or time, for a project or special cause. It's a verb. How many syllables are in contribute? 3. Stress on the second. Contribute. You can contribute time or money to charity. So we have contribution, which is the same meaning, but it's a countable noun. There are 4 syllables, stresses on the third. Contribution. Thank you for your generous contribution. Finally, we have a contributor. That is somebody who contributes. Since it's a person, it's a countable noun. How many syllables in contributor? 4. Stresses on the second. Contributor. He's a regular contributor at this website. Number 7 is basis. That's the most important facts or ideas which form or make your opinion or belief. It's a noun. 2 syllables. Basis. I took the job on the basis they promised I would have free time. So let's look at this. Why did you take the job? Because they said you would have free time. The most important reason for the job was free time. That's the basis of you taking the job. Okay, number 8 is limit. Limit is the most possible or the most you can have or do. It's a verb or a noun. How many syllables are in limit? 2 stresses on the first. Limit. You should obey the speed limit. So this is for driving. Don't drive too fast. Next we have limitation. Something that stops or limits you. So it's the same meaning as limit, but this one's a countable noun. How many syllables are in limitation? 4 stresses on the third. Limitation. Time is a universal limitation. Next we have limited. Limited is something that there is not much of, something that maybe will run out, which is an adjective. How many syllables? Limited. There are 3 stresses on the first. Limited. Buy now, supplies are limited. And then we have unlimited, which is no limits or infinite. It's an adjective. Number 9, access. Access is something you can open or get into. It's a verb or a noun. How many syllables? Access. 2 stresses on the first. Access. He doesn't have access to these files. Next we have accessible. Accessible means can open or get into. It's an adjective. How many syllables? 4 stresses on the second. Accessible. This book is accessible for beginners. So beginners can also understand this book. Then we have inaccessible. Cannot open or get into. Adjective. 5 syllables, stresses on the third. Inaccessible. He tried to unlock the computer, but it was inaccessible. Here are the sentences for day 2. Sentence 1. He denied guilt on this basis. He denied guilt on this basis. Sentence 2. There is a possibility that we can limit his role. There is a possibility that we can limit his role. Sentence 3. He loves to contribute to charities, especially global ones. He loves to contribute to charities, especially global ones.